What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, you guys. We are starting a new series, you guys. If you guys have not been following the channel, they're racing. But if you guys have not been following the channel, you guys, it's called Built Not Bought, you guys. This series is about cars that really inspire me, but most important about people, about the people behind them and what it takes to do something like this, or even just get started. 86 Buick, guys. This thing is nasty. This car, I saw it a long time ago at LS Fest in Vegas, and this thing was at, I believe it's at the Speed Tech booth. You guys can tell this thing is Speed Tech all the way around, but I saw this thing at the Speed Tech booth one day, and I didn't know whose car it was, but it really inspired me just from front to back, really, from the fabrication involved in this thing. And I didn't even know at the time what he has done to this thing underneath the car. As a matter of fact, we're gonna bring in Frankie. Frankie, what up, big dog? That's Frankie right there. Frankie, man, this thing is ridiculous. So when I first saw this thing, and the first thing that just jumps out to you for me is that damn hood and that just sucking in that cold air right there. So is that your intercooler right there?
Yeah, so basically what we designed was for airflow. Since we have a ton of coolers and we're doing everything for road racing, cooling is a huge component, especially with the boosted car. So like, any of you that go out there and watch a YouTube video and think you could build a 1,000 horsepower car for like a few $100, you know, from a junkyard stuff, sure, you can make it, but to make it survive, you got to do a lot of precautionary stuff. So if you look in there, that V-mount basically encapsulates the trans cooler, power steering cooler, oil cooler, and then obviously the radiator behind it.
Oh yeah.
This is the intercooler for the blower. Basically, I like full boost, full RPM. I don't really heat soak. I could run 2-3 laps on a road course when normally like a boosted application like this might have a difficult time.
So what motor's in this thing? Because I can already see the Whipple. So I see the LS. Tell us a bit about the motor combo you got going on.
So basically it's a Dart block, LSX Next block, 6-bolt heads that are redone by West Coast Performance out in Chatsworth, with the 2.9 Whipple, and then
2.9 liter
Whipple, Wagner drive belt accessory drive, and then a daily dry sump also. You can't really see it because it's buried down there.
The dry sump, yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty wicked combo, man. At full boost, it'll make close to 1,200 horse. 1,200
horse. I was just gonna ask you, because everybody always first question, and it's funny because they ask me, and I don't have an answer because I've never dynoed my car, but you know, that's awesome. So 1,200 horsepower, that's nuts. Well, that's a smaller pulley obviously and everything, right?
Yeah,
getting this thing dialed in.
Yeah, right now in configuration for road course, I kind of found like a 750 to 800 horsepower number, like more than enough.
Not outpower the track a little bit.
Yeah.
So
you know, for autocross, you want to modulate throttle and all that stuff. So a happy medium's kind of at the boost level we're at now.
So we got the motor. What trans is behind this thing?
It is a PPG conversion or a PPG sequential box conversion for a T56.
Okay.
So essentially it's just a T56 housing, but it's a full sequential helical cut gears, Tilton 5-disc carbon clutch. Actually have 2 clutches for this thing, and
damn.
I have one that's in, and obviously then the other one gets set out and rebuilt, and then kind of recycling. Rotate
them. I can see the cage. Tell us a little bit about like underneath the car itself. What's this thing sitting on?
So when I first got the car, I didn't really know what I was gonna do with it. I wanted a wicked car with a ton of power that was just fun and had wild shit. And then I got into this and I was like, okay, well, we need to do something to make something work, you know? And through a few friends, I kind of got directed to Speed Tech. And we basically used the 2nd gen Camaro subframe and we grafted it to the G-body. If you look down right in here, you kind of see like the metal that we used to blend it. But yeah, so it's basically an extreme chassis from Speed Tech. We kind of used all their specs.
Wow.
And built a custom chassis with the torque arm.
That's nuts. That's nuts. So you got the torque arm from Speed Tech, the front end of a like a 60s Camaro?
It's a 70 to 72.
70 to 72
73, sorry.
Front end subframe grafted into the stock G-body frame. Yep. Holy crap, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in, y'all. It is definitely, this thing is definitely not your grandma's Buick, like they say. Definitely not your grandma's Buick, you know? But this thing's nuts. So one other thing I like to ask is, when you started this project, what was your goal And what's something that you wish you would have done differently?
My goal was to make what I thought would be one of the coolest G-bodies on the planet, and having the power, the reliability of an LS where you could just beat the piss out of it nonstop with the sequential and just have fun. What I regret not doing to it is IRS, but I literally have all the parts and it's getting IRS.
IRS coming in. Yep. Oh, baby.
And it's going on a massive diet because it's a heavy pig.
Yeah, we all know. We all need that diet too, baby. We all need a diet.
I could use a diet, but the car needs more of a diet.
Right. Sure. Well, I already see you already got the carbon going. It's definitely on a carbon diet already. You got the doors, you got the trunk going on, man. I know all about that. My thing is 4,000 pounds. That thing is a freaking pig too. Yeah. Thing is a freaking pig. One other thing, like I said, if you had a guy back at home, they're watching this and they're building something, they're G body, A body, little C10, whatever they're building, if you give them one word of advice when they're starting their project off, it don't matter, it can be a little street car, it can be fully extreme to this, what would you say to them to do or not to do that you wish you would have knew somebody told you?
Build your shit and use it, for one. But figure out what you really want to do with the car and build it once. A common trap with everyone. I mean, I build cars just like you for a living, you know? The common trap is like, I'm going to build it to this level because I think it's going to be good enough. And then you're going to do all this stuff later when you're essentially, you spent 2 times the money you should have to build a car. So if you're going to build it right off the bat. If you want something cool, it's just going to be expensive. That's the reality of it. There's no cheap way to build a cool car.
That's true. He's right about that. It seems to be the common thing, you guys, is that we tend to cheap out on parts, and I've done it. I'm super guilty of it. Is that, hey, we'll just buy this, buy that, and we'll get that stuff later, and then end up biting us in the ass because
you're gonna pay for it whether you like it.
You're gonna pay for it either on the road or on the track. So, but guys, hey, if Frankie, if they want to give you guys a follow, man, check out your shop or even your Instagram. Where can they find you at?
Instagram. At Frankietru or at P2 Fabrication. We actually have, I mean, this car is cool, dude, but like the 3 cars we got coming out right now, we got an E30 that's insane. Like, I'm gonna drive it on an Optima.
Where's your shop at?
Long Beach.
Long Beach, and it's called?
P2 Fabrication.
There you go, guys. P2 Fabrication at Frankietru. Make sure you guys hit up the Instagram and make sure you guys give them a follow.
Thanks, dude.
But guys, once again, man, that's gonna do it for Built Not Bought. You guys, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, the like button, and hit the bell for notifications. And you guys already know, stay wrenching.